Today, we are talking about composing while not having a whole lot of experience. I'm calling this day one of DEO ex INFERNIS. This isn't actually the first day that I've worked on the song, as you'll see, but it is day one of a log on working at composing, really. Kind of picked it up a couple days ago. I have some musical training. I've taken music theory courses, and I am a multi-instrumentalist. I don't know how to orchestrate, or I've never gone to school. I've never officially learned. I'm in the process of learning. I bought some books, working with some folks on how to do it the right way. Today, I'm gonna show you what my process is. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So before we talk about how we did it, we're gonna take a look at what the product looks like so far. So here we go. And that is DEO ex INFERNIS, God of Below. So you might wonder why name a piece that isn't finished. Why name a piece that I'm not gonna do anything with it. I'm not composing music for anything except for myself. And it's actually an idea that I took from the workbook that I'm working through, talking about just name everything. It helps inform. At some point, it'll help inform the performer what sort of emotion is in the piece. And then just for me, just naming the song helps inform the emotion of the piece that I'm writing, and it helps sort of mold the direction that it goes. Instead of being aimless and just saying, oh, this is a epic, dark, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't give me any sort of idea of what I'm scoring for. It doesn't give me any sort of like real emotional attachment to it. It describes how it sounds, not how it feels. Versus calling it God of Below, that tells me exactly what kind of character I'm writing for. It informs a lot about the decisions that I'm going to be making as I write this song. So with all that in account, let's go ahead and let's talk about what went into this. So starting from the top, the very first thing that I actually started the song with was the percussion. This is originally supposed to be a project that turned into that was supposed to be a 5-minute countdown for church. It clearly did not turn into that, but we're at 120 BPM in 4/4 or common time. And I have a library that I wanted to try and use. And for reference, the percussion is Spitfire Epic Percussion. All of the symphonic sounds are Spitfire's BBC SO, a BBC Symphony Orchestra. It's the Discover version, which is either $49 or free. The Epic Percussion is $29, and I am using the Giant by Native Instruments, which is, I think I got it on sale for $100. It might be $200 normally, or I got it on sale for $50. It's normally $100. I don't remember, but it's decently cheap. As I said, started with the percussion. I wanted to build the rest of the song off the percussion, which is exactly what ended up happening. So let's roll into the percussion. That's the percussion. It's just a real driving, heavy beat. I like some heavy percussion. So then from there, all I did was emphasize some of the hits with bass drum hits. Basically, just hitting on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then emphasizing the build. So that's our percussion tracks. Pretty straightforward. I don't know if there's any sort of thing as, I know that there is rhythm theory, but I don't know if it's relevant to what I did. I just went with what I felt. Type 4/4. I just basically wanted to try and write a song from a different perspective than I normally do. I usually start with chords, then I'll do some melody, and then the percussion comes last. But I said, I want to go with the percussion first and see where that leads. And I'm very happy that I did. So from there, we took our string section, and this was what really started to develop the idea for what this song turned into. So first we have the cellos, which are doing this. So we got an octave, and then it's an F sharp octave, and then we got a D to C sharp. That's it. That's the whole thing. It's got a little bit of tension. It's driving. So then from there, I went ahead and doubled the cello part with the violas. And then took that, doubled the viola part on the violin too, bumped it up an octave. Or kept it in the same octave, I guess. And then took the violin 1 and really emphasized that half note line. Or half step line. Really wanted to emphasize that half note switch, because as soon as I heard it, I felt like that was going to be the backbone that we built upon. And then the bass is just pedaling on an F sharp. So all together, our strings that bass is really helping build our epic feel. So then with our percussion, folks, always bust your stuff. So from here, kind of felt like I was doing an infiltration mission. That was just the feel that I had. So I actually went ahead and added a little bit of flute because I felt like it's good. But it's not going anywhere. I needed something. I needed a little bit of something. So we added a flute. Oh, now we're going somewhere different. This doesn't sound like an infiltration mission anymore. So while the flutes are doing that, so once I put those flutes in there and had that dissonant descending arpeggio, I said, all right, we're going somewhere different. And then we added Celeste. And that's Celeste just playing those two notes. Hinted at something darker and more evil and mysterious. So then ended up adding what really gave an identity to this song. And that was just a simple, that E a whole step underneath the F sharp that the bass is pedaling on. We can listen to that together. We can hear. Ooh. Now we're going somewhere. So then we put this all together. And immediately I knew that I was working with a boss theme. So then all I did from there, add in another bass trombone to help emphasize those Inception bombs, and then also added a tuba to further accentuate that low end, just making it a wall to know that you are about to face down the final villain. Ooh, what's that? We've already listened to the song at the beginning of the song, or at the beginning of the video. So we know exactly what's coming. We are going to start now on section B. So going into section B, I actually already had an idea of what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to make it a little bit darker, and I kind of had this idea of like, all right, so we're facing down the final boss, but now he's just gotten totally unhinged and totally insane. What does that sound like? And this is what we came up with. So I went ahead and switched it from 4/4 common time into 5/4 to give myself a little bit of a challenge, as well as, I don't know, just getting out a common meter help me think through it. So again, started out with percussion, built it upon the percussion, and as you see, we're in 5/4, but are we? And actually, even just listening to it now, I've got another idea of taking that same rhythm and then doing something else. But yeah, so that's our 5/4 percussion, and then layer some bass drums on top of it to really emphasize time signature, which you'll see is ironic later on. So there we go. That's our percussion. I can't remember where this part actually started. Actually, it might have been the flute. I think the original idea might have been to have the flute doing something up high and then the trombones doing something down low and leaving out the middle. It's a technique used a lot. If you listen in horror movies, you'll hear a lot that, like, during the tension scenes, they'll play a lot of stuff on the bottom and a lot of stuff way up high, leaving a vast valley in between. It can be kind of disconcerting and kind of uncomfortable. So once again, I don't 100% remember where this section started. We'll just start with the flutes. You're going to hear, as I'm talking about section B, you're going to hear me say dissonance a lot, because that's basically all that I was looking for. Every single thing that I laid down, I was just looking for something to make me feel uncomfortable, something that sounded like it didn't work. And if it didn't work in the right way, we had a stew cooking. But yeah, this entire section is just how dissonant can I make things while not getting too crazy. So our flutes. And you'll also notice we're in 5/4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our flutes are either syncopated or they're playing in 4/4. So immediately we're playing with some polyrhythms. A lot of the stuff in section B is actually being played in a 4/4 meter. It's being played in groups of 4 beats. And that's not because I'm an incredible musician. It's actually because I'm quite an average musician. Even in 5/4, because of just the straight metronome, my brain couldn't handle it, and it's still thought in 4/4, even with that 5/4 accent. Unintentionally had some polyrhythms going on. Instead of scrapping it all and saying, "Oh, I gotta try something different," I said, actually, I'm gonna stick with this to keep with the idea of a devil, of a villain, of an evil that's just gone mad and insane and like chaos reign. So we got 4/4 stuff, we got 5/4 stuff, we got dissonance. Nothing harmonically makes sense, and that's my favorite part about this section. So from there, our cello layers at an octave below, basses take the low notes, and the violas are doing their own thing. Violas are doing their own dissonance, but they're also purposefully playing in 5/4. You'll hear 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I want to emphasize that it's just getting chaotic. So you got all this together with your flutes, all those together. immediately I'm feeling uncomfortable, unhinged. So then, to further emphasize our 5/4, two, three, four, five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Violin 2 is doing an arpeggio going up, an ascending arpeggio, if you will. And it's doing it in groups of 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and. So it's dividing in the 5/4 pretty well. And then I also wanted to do the same thing with our Celeste, but it's doing ascending and descending patterns. And then layered with violin 2. They're kind of fighting, and it's just, with all that, it's just sounding really, really gross, but in a perfect way. So then with all that chaos going on, I wanted something to help ground us. I wanted something to ground us that wouldn't take away from the feeling that we're doing. So I didn't just say, all right, so we got all this chaos going on, let's go ahead and write a melody in D major, because that wouldn't make sense. There would be some dissonance, but that D major melody would just hokey it all up. Again, going with the idea of dissonance and chaos, I laid out this melody line of the trombones, which isn't really following a melodic or harmonic pattern, but it's stable enough while also not falling within, it's not totally predictable, but it helps ground everything. And once again, this is actually being played in 4/4 over a 5/4 meter. I just thought it sounded really cool. Took me a couple tries. You can see you got some lines in here that's from different times. Typing it in, playing 5/4 is tough for me. Wanted to emphasize that line, so with one tuba track, it's there. But we took the same, did the same trick as I did in section A. Layered it up, trombone, tuba. And then I added one more piece to make it really chaotic, and it sounds like this. All I did for that transition measure into madness, I just played a whole bunch of keys on the piano descending, and then I just quantized it in triplets. And I was really happy with how it turned out. And then from there, left hand is doubling the trombones, and then the right hand has, it's playing an E, F sharp, G, and C sharp. It's just a lot of notes together, and just a lot of tension. So with the trombones and the tuba, we got this going on. And I just love those stabs on the piano. It sounds so good. And then all together, and that transition piece, I think, really, really helps it from just shifting too quickly. And that is DEO ex INFERNIS, day one. Best piece of advice I can give. I actually got this from a video by, can't remember. I'll make sure to link it down below in the description. But it's from Spitfire. He made a couple of great videos on orchestral programming, on the process, what his process looks like. And they're just brilliant videos. Help me out a lot. One of the biggest takeaways that I got from them is the idea of taking a step back, just listening to the music, not playing anything, not adding anything, just listen to it, take notes. What do I want to change? What can I feel can be better? Do I need to take anything out? Where do I think this piece is going? So I took that, I wrote some notes down on this thing, and this is all stuff that I'm going to be doing in the next couple days. Got an idea for the next section, got an idea for the tag, wrote some choral stuff down. Not all the fun stuff happens as you're making sound. A lot of the fun stuff happens in here, and then it just gets translated onto the screen, into your ears. I'm not a professional. Take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt. This has been Composing Day 1, DEO ex INFERNIS. I'll see you guys real soon. Thanks for watching.